Mathematically, Max Verstappen could clinch the world title this weekend in Las Vegas. But the odds may be stacked against the title favourite. And how, you may ask? Let's answer that in today's video. Max Verstappen admitted Red Bull's one-lap pace is quite far off where it needs to be after a challenging first day of practice for the Las Vegas Grand Prix, where the reigning world champion ended up in 17th place. Verstappen set his fastest lap on soft tyres just before a red flag was brought out midway through Thursday night's FP2 session due to Alex Albon's stranded Williams. Unfortunately, he was unable to improve his time afterward, finishing a full 2 seconds behind Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton, who set the fastest pace. When asked about on his and the car's performance, Verstappen said, "Yeah, it was slippery. I think we struggled a lot with making the tyres work, over one lap especially. The long run, I think, started off a bit more competitive, but even there I think we need to fine-tune a few things. The one-lap pace is quite far off. Of course, it's quite unique conditions around here and it's very cold, but at the end of the day it's the same for everyone, so we need to try and understand what we're doing wrong at the moment." When asked on whether he and the team had a quick fix for their issues, Verstappen said, "I mean, for me it just feels massively tyre-related. The balance of the car is not even that wrong, I think, it's just we have no grip. It's like driving on ice at the moment." Sergio Perez had a similar experience on the other side of the Red Bull garage, echoing his teammates' sentiments and expressing hope that the team can go in the right direction ahead of final practice. "I think we've got some work to do over one lap," he said. "I think the long run looked a little bit more promising, but I think we've got some work to do to really try to exploit everything, because we are not where we want. Especially over a single lap, I think we've got some work to do. We know that here, Saturday and the race, is the most important, and you can overtake and so on. It will be very critical to be able to have some good pace." As for where the car is lacking over one lap, Perez said, "I think mainly with balance. In the low speed, the rear is stepping out a lot. We've come down a lot with the rear wing and it made it quite tricky in the low speed. To compound their problems, the team has revealed that they are stuck with a too draggy rear wing that pushed them back on their heels against their rivals." World Championship leader Max Verstappen finished 17th fastest in Thursday night's second free practice, with his teammate Sergio Perez 2 places behind him, as Red Bull struggled with pace. Although part of the performance gap can be attributed to engine settings and a different tyre strategy, Red Bull is keenly aware that GPS data reveals they are up to 7 km/h slower on the straights compared to the leading Mercedes and McLaren cars. This performance shortfall is due to Red Bull not bringing the low-drag rear-wing configuration needed for the high-speed Las Vegas circuit, unlike its rivals. Despite making every effort to improve, including removing a gurney flap, Red Bull has acknowledged that it will have to make do with what it has, as no other options are available at this point. Red Bull Motorsport advisor Helmut Marko said, "We don't have another rear wing, a smaller rear wing, as we see it on our competitors. It would be more helpful for sure." Asked if there was a chance the team could fly a less trimmed one out overnight from its Milton Keynes factory, Marko said, "No." Beyond the wing issue, Marko believes Red Bull's potential is higher than what was displayed in practice, though he conceded that the situation wasn't ideal. "On the short run, we didn't go out with a soft tyre, and the long run was only partly good," he said. "Some laps were competitive, but then the rear tyres were disappearing. There were flashes of speed. We just have to get consistency into it." While Marko is confident there's more lap time to be found in terms of single-lap pace, he noted that the tyre degradation during long runs could make the race more challenging. "We need more balance," he said. "On the single lap, we can improve. But on the long run, the tyre wear is a problem at the moment." However, Marko refused to write off the weekend, despite much of the focus leading up to the event being on whether Verstappen can secure his 4th championship title here. "Tomorrow is a different day," he added. "You maybe saw it a lot of times. People will be fastest on Friday or Thursday, but it doesn't mean that they are fast in the race. We will, for sure, make a reasonable step." Marko also added that Mercedes' W15 was looking strong. Max Verstappen arrives at the Las Vegas GP with a 62-point lead over Lando Norris, and the Red Bull driver could secure his 4th consecutive World Championship this weekend if he finishes ahead of his McLaren rival. Despite breaking a 10-race winless streak with a victory in Brazil, Red Bull faced difficulties on Thursday night in Vegas, with Verstappen posting 5th in FP1 and 17th in FP2. Both sessions were topped by Mercedes' Lewis Hamilton, while Norris was just 0.011 seconds behind the 7-time world champion in second practice. After the session, as I said earlier, it was revealed that Red Bull are losing as much as 0.6 of a second to their competitors on the straights in Vegas, with the RB20's rear wing generating too much drag and no alternative available this weekend. Verstappen admitted that Red Bull had struggled a lot with making the tyres work over one lap, especially on Thursday, describing the car's handling as like driving on ice at the moment. Marco has all but given up on the possibility of Verstappen clinching the F1 2024 title with a win in Vegas, given the team's struggles in practice. He told Austrian outlet ORF, "With our performance today, we have no chance at all of second place, let alone first place." Despite edging closer to the driver's title, Red Bull is likely to fall short in the Constructors' Championship, currently sitting third, 49 points behind McLaren. Meanwhile, Verstappen's teammate, Sergio Perez, has not finished on the podium since April. Marco believes that if Verstappen secures a fourth consecutive title, it will make it easier for Red Bull to accept losing their constructors' crown, adding, "That has actually been clear for some time, because if you look at the points that Perez scored compared to Max, then you know where we are lacking. But now let's just make sure that the World Championship title is wrapped up for Max. Then it will be easier for us to get over the constructors' title." After a strong start to the season with wins in Austria, Britain and Belgium, Mercedes has faced struggles in the second half of F1 2024, with Lewis Hamilton and teammate George Russell managing just one podium finish between them. Marco remains cautious of the really strong Mercedes, but he believes the competitive order could shift as grip increases on the Vegas circuit. He said, "We have often seen this from Mercedes this year, that they are suddenly extremely strong and capable of winning. But let's wait and see how it goes tomorrow. The more grip there is on the track, the order can change again." These setbacks may rejuvenate Lando Norris' chances of prolonging the battle for the Drivers' Championship. Verstappen and Red Bull kicked off the season as they ended last year, with a dominant run of form, only for Norris and McLaren to emerge as a serious threat after the Woking team introduced a series of successful car developments. Before the first practice session in Las Vegas, Lando was asked on what he has learned in 2024 before Red Bull showed their weaknesses. "That I have what it takes," the Briton responded. "I think it's the first time in the last 6 years of F1 when we've had a chance to fight at the front. This is our and my first opportunity to do so, and my first opportunity to see where I stand. I definitely was not at the level I needed to be at the beginning of the year, even after beating Verstappen to a maiden win in Miami. Since the summer break, I feel like I've done a very good job and performed very, very well. By far some of my best performances that I've done. I've been very happy with how the last few months have gone, honestly. I wouldn't change many things that have happened. I still need to make tweaks and I still need to improve on things, that's clear. I'm not completely satisfied with how I've done, and I definitely know I need to make improvements. But for the first time, I'm confident to say I have what I think I need to fight for a championship. It doesn't mean I'm complete, it doesn't mean I'm perfect. When you're competing against drivers who are close to that, like Max, you have to be close to perfect if you want to challenge him. So do you think Max will still find a way to close out the drivers' title battle this weekend in Vegas? Comment down below, and thanks for watching.